Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be demonstrating my programming set of skills. What I've opened in front of me here is the Visual Studio Code editor, and I have the React Native project and the emulator open. So what I'll do is navigate to my expo and run my expo project on my emulator, and then you can see that the React Native project will be running in a second. Okay, so the application is now up and running. So what we have here is a React Native source code or code base here on our Explorer. So just to give insight to what is React Native is an open source UI software framework created by Meta Platforms. It is used to develop applications for Android and iOS and macOS and tvOS. The list goes on and on. So it enables developers to use the React framework along with the native platform capabilities. So in what we do here, we are using React. So if you are already familiar with React, it would be easier to code a React Native application. The working principles of React Native are virtually identical to React, except that React Native does not manipulate the DOM via the virtual DOM. So it runs in a background process which interprets the JavaScript written by the developer directly on the end device and communicates with the native platform via serialized data over an asynchronous and batched bridge. So basically what I have here is the project. So what I will open is the sources. What I have under my sources are the different folders with components, the context, with the Firebase configurations and the navigation screens, the navigation stacks and the images and all those type of things, the reducers as well. So the most important things here are the components, because we use the components to render the components into our screen. So let's say it's a button, you can have a button component, you can create a button component and then reuse the same component all over again when you want to create a button. So React Native is a very nice tool. So from here I will move to Auth screens, and on my Auth screens you would see I have this sign in welcome screen. This one is just already opened here, and in the screen I have the carousel, the swiper, and then it's true. You can see it's true. If I were to say turn this counter to become false, and then because of hot reload, the application will just reload, and now you can see I've actually just paused my swiper as easy as that. So, and then I'll just enable the swiper because that's just for demonstration, so show you how it works, and then you will see from now the swiper will continue working. And then what we will do from now is navigate to the create account screen, and just to show you the screen here. And as you can see in the screen here, we have this forms where you can create you can add your details, and then your data will then be added to the Firebase. So what I'll do now is just log in to show you inside the application what we do have, and then we are authorizing with Firebase. We are using React Native Firebase, And then here you can see the application at the top has the title of the application. At the right we have the cart with 0 items, and then we have the drawer, the navigation drawer with the details of the person who's logged in currently. And then we have the categories here in this scroll view, and then we can then scroll all the way, and we can even move down to see the restaurants in your area, promotions available. We also have this countdown here, which is set statically. That's why it was just starting from 60 minutes. So if I were to navigate to that screen, and then I would show you, because we are using the component. So we are using the flat list to actually show these cards here, but because the images where you would have seen here in this screen, that's the images would have been they would have actually been fetched from this URI here on the web, but then I don't know for what reason the Google Photos doesn't want to render the images for me, so I'm using the static images from the assets folder for that swiper. That's why the images there appear, but the others would not appear. So as you can see, these are two restaurants, this one Durban and then this one in Pietermaritzburg. But you can see would view the nature of the application. Would view different restaurants in your area, and then you can then check, search their menus. You can view this, you can search, and then once you search, you can see their reviews, and the restaurant, you also see the picture there, and then you could also go inside to view the details of each meal, and then here you can then again click the meal to choose your preference to add those items to your cart, and then you have to select those that are required from there, and then you can select and add the quantity or reduce. Okay, because of time, I may have to go to the Xamarin Forms application, and then you can even like the okay, so what I'll do now is navigate to the plug, and here I'll just run the application. And this one is also a full stack e-commerce application which is created in Xamarin. So what is Xamarin? So basically Xamarin is also a cross-platform framework, which is an open source framework. So Xamarin Forms allows developers to build Xamarin Android and Xamarin iOS and Windows applications from a single shared code base. So for some reason open the one on Xamarin. So the application is running. You can see here in our output the application is running. So and this is the create account screen. So when you create an account, what actually happens is that we instantiate the new register with the new register model, we instantiate this register model, and then we make an instance of it, and then we pass over the name, the email, and the password. And then once we've passed over to our register variable here, we make the HTTP client. We also make the new instance of the HTTP client, and then we serialize, we convert our objects, our register objects to serialized object, and then we make it a JSON. Once it's JSON, we then use the string content to encode UTF-8 and application JSON, and then therefore make a response and await the HTTP client to post asynchronously the data. And then what happens thereafter is then the account is then created. But then I will be moving over to the sign-in screen. So basically the sign-in screen uses the login. It's almost similar because we are posting it to the API, and then we read the JSON results as a string asynchronously, but then we deserialize the results and convert it back now so that we get the token. Now when we deserialize, we get the token, we set our access token, and then afterwards we use the user ID, the username, and the token expiration time so that we can keep the token validated. But then after that, we get the list of categories, the task of the list of categories, and then we get the products by ID, each product by ID. We passing in the ID parameter, and then we'll be moving on to just making giving you a bit of an insight in terms of how XAML works. XAML, you just make these would be similar to Android Studio if you were to make the views were similar, like like in Android Studio we'd have a linear layout, stack layouts, and all those types of layout, but you would find that you would have a scroll view, maybe a stack layouts, but doesn't have really the very same components like that of XML. So that's why it's just different like that. And as you can see, it's also quite different from the one we had just opened, the one with the React Native, because in such cases we are using C# rather than the JavaScript. And yes, that will be almost all. What I will do now is now we've logged in, so you can see we have navigated into our home screen, and then from here we simply have all these. Okay, we simply have here at the top, we have at the right, we have this menu icon for which there we can open our drawer and see who's logged in, the name, and all those things. And then also we can see the cards on the right side. So what I'll do, I'll just open there and add my items to the cards and navigate back to my cards. Once I've navigated, you can see those 3 items I just added here, and you can proceed, or you can clear the cards and once the cart has been cleared, you can add items again. Okay, so once we've opened our categories again, you can see our armchairs categories, and from here we can simply add, or we can increase the number of items we want in our cart. We want 2 chairs, and then go back to our list, our flat list, and from here we can just see from our trending products and maybe add one last item. And then here you can now see the carts, the number of carts in the items keep on increasing as you adding them into your cart. So from there you can then check out your cart, and then place your order. Alright, your order is being placed, and then you can come to your orders, your order history, and from there you can simply see your recent order, the time at which it was ordered, and the order number. And the rest of the admin dashboard is on the ASP.NET MVC application, which is also hosted. But then, because this video I will just sharing the mobile development skills and a little bit of the web API, and this video is already long because I would like to people to share the video with people who would like to work with me, maybe perhaps people who would like to collaborate on projects, or potential employers, or anything of that sort. You can like my video, even subscribe to the channel, and I'll also, and then leave a comment, whatever you think would be very appreciated, would be very much appreciated. And thank you for watching. This will be it.